Good evening.
I do love that intro.
It comes along pretty good. So, hey, I just wanted to welcome everybody to the latest edition of Storm Report Live. I am Chris Cipperley, the general manager, as well as a co-owner, in addition to a coach of some former facet. We also have Adam Samrov with us, who is a former Bennington Banner sports reporter. And we also have three additional guests tonight. Storm wide receiver Ty Discoe, Storm wide receiver Joe Wiggins, and new Storm quarterback Zay Gordon. So I guess I want to kick it off real quick with some wrap up from the league board meeting that we had last Saturday. There are going to be the biggest thing is there's going to be two new teams. One is the New England. I lost it. What is it? New England what?
Bombers.
Thank you, New England Bombers. They are looking to be on our schedule this year as a AA team. There's also a new team out of Rhode Island, the Tomahawks, that appear to be potentially a single A team. So they're both new. That is the latest from the league. And, as we move along, I expect to have even, more announcements for that. But I kind of want to make that, kind of a wrap up based on the last time we talked. So
I want to ask you a question real quick and for you, Sep. As a co-owner in this league and as someone who has, a stake in the league, what does it mean that, despite the pandemic and everything we've gone through the last few years, playing football up here in New England, that we have two new teams that are going to be making their debuts this year in the NFL?
That's important. We all know that, last year there was a considerable amount of lost teams. So to kind of have a little bit of a rebound is always a good thing. We believe in the NFL. We've been here for 15 years now, I think. So it's a good sign. It's a start. I mean, we're doing some things that nobody else does. And one of those things is the NFL Player Association, which ultimately is going to be driving the All-Star votes. So basically, once you register for the league, you ultimately get entered. Your email will be able to vote in All-Star voting, and that's going to be driven off of stats, which are going to be kept. So it's going to be pretty neat. That's something we tried to do last year, but of course, having to deal with all the COVID-related stuff, it never really gained the traction that we're hoping that it would. But we're looking forward to that this year. So that's really the biggest thing that I can see.
All right.
So, Adam, if you want to kind of get started, let's kick it off with these guys.
All right, sure. I just wanted to, because you usually do it. You didn't do it this time. The Storm Report Live is being brought to you by the Pharmacy-Northshire in Bennington and Manchester.
Yep.
So I get the plug in there. We got Ty, we got Joe, we got Zay here. I want to start with you, Ty. A Mass guy you said you're from North Adams or live in North Adams.
Yeah. From Pittsfield originally.
Say again?
From Pittsfield originally.
Okay, yeah. So you're a Berkshire County guy. Yeah. Backup quarterback last year, transitioned to wide receiver. Just talk about coming in with the Storm and why you decided to join this ragtag crew of ours.
Well, it started about 3-4 years ago because I played in the Flag League in Bennington, and a bunch of the guys that were on the team then were asking me to play, and I didn't want it at the time. And then I said, all right, I'll play. So 2 years ago, I was the backup quarterback, and well, it went all right. I started one game and probably threw the most interceptions in 3 quarters you probably could. It was a rough game, but then I went back to where I should have been playing as receiver because that's where I thrive. That's my spot.
Now, Ty, do you know who ultimately? You ultimately made a decision to come here, but you know who? Even I think it started back in 2018. Nate Sweet was on me.
Nate Sweet was Nate Sweet. Yeah.
Yep. So that's kind of how that, at least for me, that's how I kind of started to know about you. And of course, Mike Williams obviously knew quite a bit about you. I mean, he calls you,
Coach Mike
on purpose. So,
yeah. And then, last year was my first full year playing receiver, and it just started out the year. It was a little rocky, I had a few injuries, but then I battled back, and it was just fun. It's fun out there.
No, you made a hell of an impact this year. It wasn't all on the stat sheet either. You were really, really super physical. I can't even. There's more highlights of you making significant blocks. I think otherwise go overlooked, but you really kind of brought the tone that was needed. And quite honestly, to kind of throw a little bit of respect towards Joe's way. I mean, I think that was lacking while Joe was gone. And you've really, picked up that spot, and having both of you guys out there this year being really physical, I think is going to pay significant dividends, because not only are you guys a huge part of what we want to do is in terms of throwing the ball, but running the ball, forget it.
Tell the DBs keep the head on the swivel, because I'm coming.
Yeah.
Just say, I'm letting them know right now.
Yeah.
I'm letting them know outside linebackers, I don't care.
Yeah, absolutely.
The tone.
I mean, if you don't do it, I will. If you don't, I will. That's how
somebody gonna do it.
Somebody's gonna do it.
One of the things I wanted to, ask about, and again, I wasn't on the inside this year. Last year, I'm hoping, to be coaching. Like I said, I don't do with you skinny guys. I'm doing with the big guys. But I know that you had to work with two different quarterbacks this year yourself as the receiver.
Three, technically. Three.
Was it three? Okay. Well, I know it was definitely two, at least two. Tell me about how you prepare when you had one guy for the whole season. He gets hurt. Then you got another guy who's different size, different. What they do is completely different. Talk about your preparation for when there's a change like that.
Oh, well, for me, I'm always open. No, I'm kidding. It was
no. Keep that. Keep that energy. That's the type of energy I like.
No, really. That. I mean, I don't really judge the quarterback, because, to be honest, as long as they get the ball there, I don't care who's throwing it. I look more at like the corner who's guarding me or the outside linebacker who's guarding me, because I'm more worried about just getting. If I'm doing a slant, I'm worried about breaking inside, getting open, getting that release. But no, it was definitely tough because. Will can zip that ball in, and then you got Johnny who throws. The throw styles are different, so you got to either attack the ball kind of if they throw it softer, or loosen your hands up and let the ball come to you. So that was tough, but practicing 2 times a week with the guys, you get used to it pretty fast.
Yeah, and all three of them were really in their own way different leaders too. So that was always a challenge for us, in terms of trying to. Coach too. Like, they're all great people. It's just I wouldn't say lack of consistency, because that's not fair for either three of them. It was just a lot of moving pieces that ultimately, we almost covered the hump, but obviously we hadn't. But yeah, no, I agree with you on that one for sure.
Yeah, it's kind of, I always say this, and some guys get mad at me. It's football. Don't overcomplicate it. Yeah. There's only certain things you can do, and if you can change it, then okay. But if you can't change it, you got to move on. You can't dwell on it, because there's a next play coming up, and you only got 20, 30 seconds to get your mind right for the next play. So you just got to shake it off and move on.
Where did you you said you're from Pittsfield? Did you play for PHS?
I played for Pittsfield High. Yeah, class of 2013.
Okay, so you've obviously got that as well. Just that again playing in the Berkshire League and against some stiff competition. Has obviously served you well coming up, huh?
But I played against Joe back in high school.
Oh, played against Joe. Okay, yeah, of course.
Actually, I have a question for you. Actually, for Joe and Ty. I know a bunch of times, Ty, I've talked to you about a bunch of different things. And time to time, you always say, I've always played with, say Levante or Joe or whoever. Where did you guys play together? Was it at the youth level, or is it just,
is it just 6th, 7th, 8th grade?
Okay.
Yeah, and then they went. Joe and Levante went to. Ultimately, it turned out to be the better high school, and I chose the wrong school.
Well, I guess it's all in perspective, because one's still open, one isn't. So.
Yeah.
I started off at PHS too. People forget that. So
now, to kind of get Zay into the fold here, so he doesn't have to show any more Ted's Fish Fries cups. I figure we better give him some light.
We're trying to get that sponsorship,
bro. I'm full right now, bro. The spot I was laying down like, I got to get on this real fast. Hold on, let me hurry up and get up before I forget to fall asleep. That's where I'm at right now.
Well, I could definitely, I did some research. I did my research on you. I heard your nickname's Flash. We'll start there. We'll see about that come May. We'll see how flash you are.
Oh no, it's accurate. It's just more of a when I actually feel like running is more of the issue that everyone has with me is I don't run. I don't think I've actually like sprinted in maybe like 4 or 5 years, like full speed. But it's fun. It's a good time. You'll see. You guys will see. I actually gave my problems to a few people that I actually run full speed when I have the chance to. So everyone will finally get to see how fast I am.
Just so I understand, what is the psychology behind that? Not like is it like you don't like want to like show your card, so to speak, or is it more of just self-preservation? Like,
What's the fun? What's the fun of it if I keep outrunning everyone? It's no point.
Come on.
No point.
I'm
honestly no. I'm a very, very physical. So it's like there's times where I could literally just take off and I'll see somebody and be like, let me go take this guy over here real fast. Let me go hit him. I'm just that kind of guy. Like sometimes the opportunity doesn't present itself, but like there's times I just slow up and it's like, all right, we're done here.
Yeah, kind of like a sideline kind of routine.
No, all
right. No, I don't want people thinking you're out there dogging. I was just curious what you meant. That's all.
No, I'm giving it. I just if I get in the open field, I'm going. But normally I don't. Normally getting like chased down by fucking freaking linebackers that are trying to take my head off. So I kind of gotta weave in between people all the time. So there's that.
Well, I saw that, doing some of my research on that. You did that to Section 2 linebackers for a bunch of time, also playing at Lansingburg.
Yeah, those were those days. They're fun days, man. There was I used to call like Lansingburg the land of the running backs because we purely produce pure running backs out of all the years I played football. But it was fun in Section 2. I'm still actually friends with a lot of guys from there. From I was Section 2 all the schools around. I mean, I was more of a downhill kind of guy, and it's not in high school. Just more of a take a step here. I'm running straight at you. When I got older, that's when I was like, hey, I can actually move around a little bit more. And I think I was like 215, 220 maybe when I was in high school, my junior, senior year. So it's probably more of the reason why I was straight power run. Until now where I'm just, I'm 190 something. We'll just give it that way. I'm just 190 something. Don't know the exact. I just know I'm in the 190s. I'm not in 200 anymore. So my legs still move even at 30. They still go.
There you go. I'm gonna be 40 in March, so hopefully my legs keep going.
It'll be good. Don't worry. Just stretch. Do what I do. Stretch, man. Fine.
So after you graduate from Lansingburg, you go to Hartwick to play. And it's Misericordia, I believe is how it's pronounced, in Pennsylvania. Did you end up playing? Yeah, that's what I was looking it up. Am I wrong?
No, I didn't play. I didn't play at Hartwick, or wherever. I was gonna, but I ended up actually going to Hudson Valley.
Oh, went to Hudson Valley. Okay. So
I went to Hudson Valley.
That was part of the process. So
yeah, I went to Hudson Valley.
Incorrect, but
went to Hudson Valley for maybe a year. I actually didn't like football. Really wasn't my kind of like. Once I got out of high school, I was kind of like, I wanted to play football, but at the same time, I was just like, no. I went to a meeting, and they were like, yeah, we're gonna make you a linebacker, and I was like, all right, have a good day. See you later.
Peace. I don't think so.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I literally was like, never went back. I was like, no, I just did school because that people know me. I'm not a defensive guy. I could play DN, but I don't want to. If I don't have to, no. I'd rather stay on the offensive side of the ball.
Okay.
And do my damage that way. Leave the defense. You can leave the defense to Manny.
So then you were out of football for how long until you came back for the Irish?
What? 4 years maybe.
Okay. How did you get back in? What did you just somebody you got some buddies and you were like, hey, we're doing this and
yeah, I got approached for like a year or two after I graduated by Ryan, Coach Joe. He messaged me and I kind of turned it down, but I was really good friends still am Jeremy Hatter, and he kind of like pushed the issue about come play semi-pro, come play for Troy, and I was like, okay, fine. And then once I got there, and I was like, well, I know a lot of you guys here, and to me it was just like, dude, this is like a Section 2 matchup to me, and I was like, all right, cool. And since then I was like, yeah, we just run away with it. I mean, I was like, at that point I wanted to play football again, but I was like, I don't know where to start. And then TFI kind of just unraveled in front of me, and I was like, okay, cool, I'll go there.
Okay. You guys know, that Job is the coach at Watervliet now. He's got the job at Vliet now.
Yeah, so I'm one of the coaches. I coach with him at Watervliet.
Oh, you're coaching at Watervliet too. Okay,
yeah,
I did not know that. Come on, so we need to have a good pre-call meeting here. Come on, I need to know these.
Yeah, well, I didn't know you knew. I didn't know you needed to know.
So, Joe, I got a question for you. Would you believe this is year 4 for you already?
No, not at all.
It's crazy, right?
That's it.
Yeah, it's. Yeah, I didn't know it was year 4 for me.
Yes.
Is that counting Kings too, or
no? 19, 20, 21, 22.
Ah, man. Nah, I didn't know it was year 4 for me.
And it's number 3 for Ty already, believe it or not.
Jesus.
It's crazy. So, I mean, I kind of asked you this question sort of, in the past, but like now I understand, last year, that was, I guess you can call it like a half a season, but, looking back in the time being on a team, like what do you look back on that just says, I'm glad I did this?
I think looking back on it is like the aspect of like a lot of people realize the first year I played, I was on the Kings, and that year as a rookie, I still don't understand how it happened, but I should have won offensive MVP, and I was robbed of it, and I think that motivated me because at that time I was still at NCLA, I was still playing basketball.
Yep.
And I was preparing for my season there. And the only reason I couldn't go to the championship game against the Ravens is because my coach found out I had a football game. It was just like, no, like basketball's like 2 weeks away. You can't go. So I think that after that first year, it was just, and I had that like in my head. I was like, I'm the man. And then obviously I switched over to you guys and took the trips to Vermont instead, and got my brother to tag along, and now
yeah, he's
history.
Yeah, he's year 4 too, man. Like that's crazy to me. Like, I mean, 2019 just feels like forever ago, and it's not, but it is at the same time. Time is a funny thing.
It doesn't even feel like it's been 4 years. Like,
no.
True.
And here's the thing that I noticed.
Signed on the team yesterday.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah. I feel like that in general with me. Like this is all together to be year 9, like for me, and it's like, dude, I still remember like legit my first practice, and I was like, bro, it feels like yesterday. Like this can't possibly be year 9. I never even thought about it. I'm like, holy hell, like, Jesus.
And not only that, like 4 years for you, 4 years. Obviously, you're new to the Storm, but you're not new to semi-pro, obviously. Yeah. And the thing is, too, like semi-pro is very transient. You might be on the Kings, and then you're with us, and then maybe, something else. It's like it's a very, and you've been here 4, and you've been here for 3, and Zay was with the Irish for 5 years, and talk about just getting a good, finding a good organization and sticking with it. And with that decision to come back every year, and that's kind of for all 3 of you, really, not just one.
Well, actually, I kind of go ahead, Joe. My bad.
I just like found an aspect of like. When I transferred over, the first 3 people that I got in contact with was Will Cole, Gary, and
Josh.
The third was Josh. Yeah, Josh. And the way I met Josh was just like Winter League basketball, and he was like, "Oh, you should play for the Storm." But me and him became best friends and stuff, and then coming over.
You're talking about Provenus, by the way?
Yes.
You said the last names of the other 2. I just wanted to that you were talking about.
Yeah, Josh Provenus. And then it came to the point where I played against Will Cole, and I played against Gary. So, like, I already knew what I was going into. Like, I knew Will, the way Will Cole played. And, like, from the start, like, me and Will connected immediately. I said I came in my first year. They elected me as a captain with them, like because everyone knows me. I don't care about my stats. Like I'd rather the person
win.
behind me. I'd rather the person behind me be better, and I'd rather get a W. Like I don't have to have a catch at all whatsoever. I will block the whole game and put people on their ass the whole time and don't care. But the reality of it is like the way I carry myself, Joe. The way I carry myself and present myself is like I don't care about my stats. Like I got your back, you got my back. Let's go get this dub and let's win. And when I first got in, that they were on a winning mentality. Like everyone's on the same goal. Like everyone wants to win.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of want to piggyback on that a little bit. I don't mean to take thunder from the other guys, but like 19 in particular, that was a fun year. And I mean, it had its own, issues, but we kind of became the team that we knew we could be. I mean, if you remember, Joe, that was a huge growth from like the first week to like by the time we got to the playoffs. Like we became like a really good team. And like I feel as though like 2020, I think you got to throw that away. Giving all the stuff we had to do to get through it. But like for this coming season, I want to duplicate what we did in 19 to actually grow. In 2021, I felt like we were just playing games. I don't think we ever truly got better week to week. And if we get there, I think we're going to be really, really good.
And that's what I like because bringing in the new people, creating a different like atmosphere now. It's like, no one's spot is like safe.
100%.
And that's going to bring out the dogs that we want. That's gonna make like you have to work. Like if you're not coming, you're not gonna work.
I agree.
You're gonna be left behind. Like it's that simple. And
I like it because it's very. Sorry, let me cut you off, Joe. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine.
But I was saying, like looking at some of the roster and some of the new signers and stuff. It's guys from 18 to 40. It's kids just coming out of high school. It's guys with years of semi-pro experience, like all you guys now. It's new guys. Even to the semi-pro game where they played football maybe back in the day, a few years back, whatever, and now they're coming back, similar to what they did. Coming back after 4 years to play for the Irish. So it's a really dynamic mix of new and veteran and guys that know their way around the game, know their way around, the league and how it all goes down. So I think that's huge to have that dynamic, that mix.
And every other team in this league, I don't think is doing that. Like every other team is just like creating new teams, trying to like find what's around them and.
They're just getting their buddies.
We had 3 different states, like all in one. Like you got Vermont, Mass, and New York. Travel, like so. You have what we have that other teams don't. Is just like everybody wants to be there. Like anyone could play in their state. Like anyone could play in their state and be fine. Like there's a bunch of teams in Mass, there's a bunch of teams in New York. Vermont has like teams like but further away. So Bennington is like that neutral area for like deep Western Mass and New York. So like I think like the reality of it is everyone, if you're on the same page and everyone's intact, like it's gonna be hard to bring down a whole team of dogs.
And if you go back towards, I know I kept going kind of to the high school thing, but just because obviously that's where, basically everybody got started playing at the high school level. But it's like, the teams in Eastern New York, Hoosick and Cambridge have been good for years and years and years. The Troy teams, the Troys and the Lansingburgs and those Section 2, AA teams.
Venus.
Drury has always been good. Wacona's always been good in Mass. Like the football around here, and people I don't even think realize it. They sure as hell don't realize it out towards Boston for Mass. That's for sure. And New York, all right, Section 2 with maybe a little bit, but I don't think people realize how good the football is here. And you guys have been a part of that, all of it.
Yeah. No, it's important.
Bring up to this.
Well, part of it too is everybody out in Boston, where they look at, especially Western Mass, they look at us as a bunch of like hillbilly farmers. Like they really do. No, they really do. I went to college out in Worcester. They do.
And then they play us and they're like,
Western
oh
Mass
shit.
is in Springfield, and it's like, no, there's an actual Western Mass.
Yeah. Hey. And then they see us and they're like, what the hell? Like,
right. Oh, who just hit me? Oh, I don't want to be hit like that again.
Yeah, I had when I was at the Banner, one of my guys named Jeff Smith was my first hire as a sports reporter, and he's from he went to school out that way, one of the preps or whatever. And I would always make fun of him. He's like Western Mass, and he'd basically stop at Springfield. I'm like, are you kidding me? The whole Placer County out here. What the hell are you talking about? But I'm not the Mass guy. I don't know. I'm from New York. What the hell do I know?
Now, so I guess one thing I would like to say, in terms of the roster, So first and foremost, I'm really excited about where we are, and I also want to make it understood too. There's some guys here, that are potentially on the team because there is technically speaking a lack. There's a missing team in New York, and I don't want to say it in any way that anybody thinks I'm throwing any kind of shade or anything like that, because I'm not. But the fact of the matter is, they're here and haven't been here in the past because of loyalty. So I actually applaud that. I know that's a slippery slope, but it's important. We have guys like Joe, we have guys like Ty, we have guys like Will and Gary in the past. The list goes on and on. I'd rather have loyal guys. So, while I'm excited that a lot of these guys are here, I understand why they haven't been here in the past. So I'm excited for them. I'm happy for them. And I'm hoping we can all put it together. So I just want to make everybody kind of know, I actually appreciate their loyalty to the teams of past. It's important,
And it's not, the Storm went through this in 2016.
Absolutely.
Where, you regroup, you start over, they're going through the same thing this year. Obviously, like I said, Ryan has got the job at Vliet with Zay coaching as part of his staff. It was just a time for a reboot, and they'll come back in 22 or 23, and they're, things will happen in that vein at their level. And I know they play in the New York leagues, the Empire, I think.
NFA.
Or the NFA. You're right. So so I mean, I think that's good. I think it's good to have again, good football all around us.
Yeah, absolutely. I root for any team to be successful, especially when it's in my backyard. I mean, why not? I mean, there's nothing wrong with rooting for another team. It's all good, man. It's football. At the end of the day, we're all doing this for not much. So we might as well.
Game.
Exactly. So why
love of the game, man.
Love of the game, bro.
Why would you hate on anybody for trying to put a team together? I just don't understand that.
And after every game, both teams come to the center
and do the ending prayer at the end of the game.
And it's all about football. You can hate each other on the field. You can knock the hell out of people on the field. We come together at the end. It's all about football. You end it with the Lord's Prayer. It's guys that want to be there and want to make something of themselves.
I've made connections with a lot of different players from different areas, dudes from Cuse, Rochester, even when I went down to Florida, Connecticut, just from football. So it's the end of the day, people say, "Oh, it's just football." It's realistically bigger than football at the end of the day. You unfold, you get a whole new, not even new, another family that you never knew you had. It's the guys you go to war with. At least, y'all go to war with me. I'm definitely going to war for you guys every day of the week. So this is where it is. You get so many. There's so much more than other just a freaking throwing a pigskin down the damn field. So much more. So much more.
The people that say it's just football, though, they don't get it. They were never part of it.
No, exactly.
Or they were, and they were just on their high school team that never played again. They don't understand. There's a whole camaraderie about this. It's a family. It really is.
I think we lost Zay to a Ched's Fish Fry Cup.
Yeah, it was a trip over it.
It's coming after me, guys.
Like the same, when I left last year, and damn near still, I still talk to Chris every day. I still talk to Ty damn near every day after a game. My brother after a game, and now even being back home, I still talk to all my teammates from Arizona and everything, and keep in touch.
That's what it's about,
and that's what it's mainly about. I rather still see other people's success and see that they progress and everything. And I still I had Ty hit me up nights yo, man, what did I do wrong this play? Because I tell them all the time, I watch their games.
I
the
stay
next
calm,
day after the game, I'm sitting at work watching film on a team 2,000 miles away, and I'm just oh, this should have been better. This could have been better. This like I'm watching the defense saying like, okay, like I'm not even a defensive player, but this could have been done better, or this is what I would have did. Or
I'm a fan of like accountability as well.
Yeah,
things like
it's
that.
common.
Like,
Trust me.
And that's the thing. Like I'm big on accountability. Like if I fuck up, excuse my language if I can't swear, but if I mess up and you tell me I mess up, and I'm not gonna take it as disrespect or anything. I'm gonna like, okay, what can I do to be better?
That's it.
Like, I'm not the best. Like I don't say I'm the best. None of that. If there's a lot of people who say like I'm really good. In my mind, I'm like I'm not that good. I just work hard and do what I'm supposed to do.
Yep.
And it's that simple. And I don't know.
Hard work pays, my friend. Hard work pays.
It does pay.
Hey, hard work pays off. And if you lack hard work, if you cannot have a person walk up to you and say like, yo, man, you could have did this without feeling it as a threat, then that's a problem. Like I could have a rookie walk up to me, like a first year guy, and say, yo, Joe, like, you know, like you could have did this, and this better. And I would go to think about what they said to me and everything. Doesn't mean like most of the time I'm gonna listen to it or do what they said. I might just say, oh, well, this is why I did this. And
well, do you realize how important that is, though, Joe?
Like, it is. It's
like,
key.
Like having, like, you know, the kind of, I guess, take it full circle. When you look at a roster, right? So there's got to be 10 guys that are probably 21 or younger. So everybody's got to remember that everybody is setting an example. If you have in a lot of cases, you have one chance to make or break these young guys. You know, if they have a bad experience, they may never play again. So, you know, the leaders don't have to be the best players, but they have to be the best leaders. You don't have to be the best player to be a leader.
You gotta be someone that everyone can at least go to and talk to at any time, and know that the answer that they're going to give you is not good. It might not be what you want to hear, but they're saying it to you because they want you to be like the best person you can be. Like there's numerous times I have yelled at Ty and be like, Ty, what the hell are you doing? Do this. And Ty and me have been playing forever with each other. Yeah. And Ty will still look at me and be like, I didn't even think of that. Or I'll do something wrong, and Ty's like, oh, you should have did this. And I'm like, damn, I actually should have did that. Shit, you're right.
Yeah, but
and if you
Joe, you and
I
got that connection though, because we've been playing together for so long, you know.
Yeah, I built that connection with a lot of people though. Like, you're right about it. Like the first year I got there, we had a lot of receivers, and I came in and I was just like, this is what we're doing. Like this is how it has to be. Like constantly, like off the rip, first year, this is what it has to be. And this is how we're gonna get better. Like I'm gonna hold you accountable. You drop a pass, go do your push-ups and run your route again. Like
yeah, and I want to piggyback on that too, because who knows who's watching, and it's always good to put this out there. So you know, we're preaching accountability. I think that's the most important thing that we've learned over the last 2 years.
I've learned that the last 4 years. The reason that
100%.
we always have a hiccup all the time, and it's because the lack of taking criticism, the lack of accountability, and just people not understanding that you're my brother. If you're my brother, I got you, you got me. There's never going to be a hard one of what I'm saying to you. I just want you to be the best person you can be and the next person up if anything ever happens.
100%. So, you know, to take it to the next level, like, you know, I had a conversation with Zay about this the other day. The question was asked of me, you know, not to put you on the spot, Zay, but the question was asked of me, who do you have in mind for receivers? And I said to you, I can't tell you that. And the reason why I can't tell him that is because everybody has to prove that they belong on the team. It doesn't matter what you've done, what you hope to do, you have to do it. So if that means that I'm pulling this number completely out of thin air here. If we decide that we only want to keep 8 receivers, you better be in the top 8. If you're not, do something about it. And now what it means by top 8 is you come to practice. Do you practice hard? Do you do what's asked of you? Do you have a poor attitude? Do you do whatever the hell you want in terms of like not running the right route? Like all those things add up. So until you prove that you deserve playing time, you're not going to get it. And I'm not worried about talent at this point because we got plenty of it. Don't care about that. Talent is a third of what we're looking for. Actually, maybe even a quarter. So it goes for everybody. Everybody. It doesn't matter if you're the kicker, you're the quarterback, you're a wide receiver, you're whatever. Our roster is put together in a way that's going to make everybody be uncomfortable, and that's what we need. And that's the way it's going to go.
I agree. And that should be every team's philosophy.
For too long we've kind of fallen in love with certain folks, and we're not doing that anymore. They're going to have to fall in love with us.
You want your spot earned. Well, you want your PT, come get it. That's it.
Exactly. That's
what you gonna do about it. I mean, I would gladly. Trust me, I would gladly be happy to do one-on-ones with my offense versus defense. I don't care, and that's the energy I bring. Joe, you've seen me before play. I will tell you what I'm about to run at, so do something about it. I don't care. I will come into practice and talk trash to the defense the whole time, just because I want you at your best because you're getting my all. That's
and the thing I'm liking now too is we already have dudes that are like legit posting workout videos and saying, "What are you doing?" Like right now, the best person to name for it is Prophet.
Prophet always posting.
What are you doing? Like who's in the gym? Who's doing this? Who's trying to get work right now? Who is legit putting in the work right now to be prepared?
So is Jalen Hill. He's killing it too.
Jalen Hill constantly, always.
Your brother too.
Yeah, but those are the people that people got to be like, okay, like maybe I should probably start getting prepared for what's about to go because it's not going to be like 18, 19. It's a whole different year.
No, you got a lot to prove.
There's a lot to prove. There's a whole bunch of new guys right now that are coming for spots, and they're working. And
they're
like if you're not working, you're gonna come in preseason and be like, oh, I'm in the best shape to get exposed.
Like this ain't your cakewalk of a league. Like if you come in and you think, oh, I'm just gonna run this simple route, the DB is gonna push you off that route so fast.
Yeah.
You know, like you got to be able to fight back and still stay on your route and still keep going. I mean, it's a physical league. If you ain't ready to be physical, then you just ain't ready.
I done got jammed off one of my routes before for thinking I was hot shit, and I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, me too.
That kind of put me in perspective after I'm like, okay, so now I'm actually have to. No, once you initially get that first, like, no, you're not doing nothing, it probably stick in their head like, oh, maybe I should actually. Yeah, you should do that. That's where
it stays right with you too.
That's the first rule.
Will. That one jam at the line of scrimmage, and it's gonna stay with me forever.
That's the first rule you got to teach these young guys coming in. These the Bennington kids or the Burn Manchester kids or whatever. Just little awakening for what they're gonna deal with.
People don't realize that I don't get played up anymore. I don't think I got played up since my first year, and it's because like I was prepared for the person playing up to me to know that I'm not playing with you. Like
bring it to them.
You better come because if you don't, I'm throwing you to the sidelines. I'm putting you on the floor. Like it's not gonna be pretty. Like I'm gonna work and you're gonna have to work to. You gotta prove to me that like you're better than me, like or that you are tough. Because like people think football is like physical game all the time. It's mental.
Oh yeah, you can really mess with somebody mental.
Oh,
especially if you keep putting them on their back every time, like on a run play. They're out of there, checked out already.
Like I don't think I've been.
I don't like a couple times last year. I'd have corners like, and they'd press up on me, and by the second quarter or second half, excuse me, they were staying off because they were like, yeah, I don't want to get. Like, I don't think I've had a corner play up on me since my second year. Yeah. And the one corner that did it, I legit pancaked him and just Undertaker had him on the floor like this. Yep. I remember that.
It's funny. It's just one of those it's really funny to see it, just to watch. That's why it's like, that's why a lot of people, that's why I talk so much, because like I'm gonna beat you somehow before I even start this play. Somehow I need to get in your brain somehow. Once I figured out I got you, I already won. At that point, now I'm just gonna do what I have to do on the football field. If you let me in your head, I already won. Now I'm just gonna destroy you on the football field at that point.
I love it. I'm ready to go now. Let's start playing now. I think the confidence is at all time high, and I think it might be time to.
I need a couple more. I need a couple more weeks still.
That's the old man talking.
I'm ready to go.
I need a couple more weeks. That's that old man talking.
I said right now. I said this is the most I've weighed in my life. What? But like even this is the most I weighed in my life right now. But the reality of it is, I'm still got a fast first step. Still can catch. Still can run the route. Like Chris went and watched a flag football game. He probably was like, "What the hell has Joe been eating?" But
I was starting to wonder if he's going to have to wear 72 instead of 32 this year.
Hey, I can go down to the line.
That's all right. We'll take you. We need all the athletes we can get, brother. I'll take you. No problem.
But well, hey guys, I wanted to. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to do it. We're around the 45-minute mark, so it's about time to kind of wrap this up. So, I hope everybody had a good time doing it. It was always good to catch up with a couple. I guess vets at this point, and
enjoyed it.
Finally getting a chance to get a chance to virtually meet Zay. We've chatted a few times, ran into each other in the hallway once.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
hey, what's up?
Yeah, we will be back next week. Hopefully at a similar time. Hopefully same day of the week. But with that, we thank you, and we'll see you all very soon.
All right, man.
Have a good night, y'all.
Thank you.